这个故事如果你听起来不累，那么你的听力水平在生活中是完全够用的。要持续提升英文，记得点击订阅按钮。我们开始吧。
A ship almost sank in calm water, not because of a storm, but because no one was on the same page. Long before this phrase was used in offices, it lived in the world of books. In early print shops, workers did not print full books at once. They worked page by page. One person set the letters. Another checked the ink. Another stacked the pages. If even one person made a small change and did not tell the others, the whole book broke apart. A story could begin twice. A name could change in the middle. A key line could vanish. From the outside, the book looked perfect. Inside, it was chaos. Printers learned a hard rule. Before they moved on, everyone had to stop and check the same page. Not their own page. The same one. They had to see the same words, in the same order, with the same meaning. If not, they would lose time, money, and trust. Slowly, this habit turned into a saying. We need to be on the same page. Time moved forward. The world grew faster. The phrase left the print shop and entered daily life. In a small classroom, a group of 5 students got one simple task. Make a short play. It sounded easy. One student wrote a sad story. One wanted a funny show. One started making props from paper. One tried to sing. One just waited for orders. They all worked at once, full of energy. Full of ideas, but not together. When the time came to perform, the story made no sense. The class laughed, but not in a good way. The teacher did not get angry. She asked one question. What story are you trying to tell? The room went quiet. No one had the same answer. That was the moment they saw the problem. It was not skill. It was not effort. It was direction. The next day, they sat in a circle and spoke, one by one. They picked one idea. They built around it. When they performed again, the room was silent, then full of applause. Years later, the same problem appeared in bigger places. In a growing company, a team worked on a new product. The boss spoke about speed. The designers cared about beauty. The engineers focused on safety. The sales team promised things that were not ready yet. Everyone worked late. Everyone felt tired. Everyone believed they were right. But no one stopped to ask the simplest question. Are we on the same page? The launch day came. The product looked good but failed fast. Users were confused. Parts did not match. Promises were broken. The team sat in a cold meeting room, staring at the result. One person finally said it out loud. We never agreed on what we were building. Now place yourself on a ship at night. The sea is dark and wide. The air feels heavy. The captain gives a clear order. Turn left. A sailor hears it but doubts it. Another thinks he heard something else. A third decides to wait. Seconds pass. The ship moves straight ahead. Then too late, it turns. The water hits hard. Wood cracks. Voices rise. In that sharp moment, you feel it in your chest. Not fear of the sea. Fear of silence, of missed words, of minds that never met. The phrase grew strong in the late 20th century, when teams became larger and work became complex. Meetings filled calendars. Plans filled screens. Yet the same old problem stayed. People spoke in the same room but lived in different ideas. They nodded without understanding. They moved without alignment. The cost was not always loud, but it was always real. Think about your own day. A friend says it is fine, but their voice feels off. You say nothing. A plan with family sounds clear, but each person hears a different meaning. No one checks. Later, it falls apart. You look back and see it. The signs were there. The gap was small, but it grew. Being on the same page is simple, but not easy. It asks for clear words. It asks for real listening. It asks for the courage to ask again, even when you think you understand. It asks you to slow down for a moment, so you do not lose much more later. In a quiet town, two partners opened a small cafe. One dreamed of a calm place with slow music and long talks. The other wanted fast service and quick growth. They smiled and agreed in public, but never spoke deeply in private. At first, customers came. The coffee was good. The mood was warm. Then small cracks appeared. The menu changed without warning. Prices moved up and down. Staff felt lost. Customers felt it too. One night, after closing, the two partners sat in silence. Cups were empty. Lights were low. One finally said, "I thought we wanted a quiet place." The other replied, "I thought we wanted to grow fast." They looked at each other and saw the truth. They had worked side by side for months, but never on the same page. The cafe closed a year later. Not because the coffee was bad. Not because people did not care. It closed because two minds never met in the same place. This phrase stays alive because the problem never leaves. It hides in small talks. It hides in quick messages. It hides in the spaces between words. Now think of one person in your life. It could be a friend, a partner, a parent, or a co-worker. You talk often. You share time. But are you truly on the same page, or just moving in parallel lines that never touch? If you stopped today and asked one clear question, and waited for a true answer, what would you discover? And if you found out you were not on the same page, would you fix it, or keep turning the page alone?
能以非母语者的身份专注学习到现在，这本身就是很棒的进步。真诚感谢你的观看。如果你觉得本期内容实用，点赞或留言让我知道你的想法，这对我持续创作非常重要。我们下期见。